Hello everyone, welcome again. So I just got done shower. This is like 9 p.m. and I just wanna film a quick video, just another talking video. Basically I got a mic from my boyfriend and I wanna use it more. But today I wanna talk about moving alone, finance edition. So basically about like the cost and what you can expect, like what to pay basically, and how much money you should expect to save to move out before move out. And this is gonna be rely on the expenses in Portland, Oregon, especially in downtown, because that's the location that I moved out by myself before, and I'm moving back into downtown again. So basically, to move out, there is more than just the rent. There's all sorts of things that you have to consider, and includes in the first move is the most expensive, and then the monthly after the first month it's just gonna be better and more stable and doesn't fluctuate. So basically the monthly charges should be pretty stable after you already buy most of the essentials that you don't really need to buy more than one time, or it usually lasts you a couple of months. I made a list of the 3 ways of moving out, or I mean like 3 sections of moving out basically. So I have the first one is gonna be the first move, so basically like when you move out. And then I have the monthly, that's not like the first move, because the first move is gonna be the most expensive, and then the monthly should be more stable when you get like comfortable, and then you know what you have to pay for monthly basically. And then the third one is gonna be the same as the monthly but with a roommate. So basically just to help you consider if moving by yourself or with a roommate is more suitable to you. But yeah, so when it comes to moving out by yourself, you have to consider all the costs and all the expense that comes to this. When I first moved out, I was a college grad. I don't have like a full-time job. I was just working everywhere basically. I was working in 3 restaurants. So I had like 3 sources of income, but none of them are full-time. One, I work like, I would say 20 something hours. The other one is like almost 20 hours, and then the other one is like less than 10 hours. So basically I was working full-time but at different places, because as we know, not all restaurant wants like full-time workers that work like 40 hours a week. So it's like a combination of 3 part-times. This list of apartment, I do try to make it like budget friendly. So basically when I move out, I was pretty frugal. I try to spend the least amount, as little as possible. Though when you move out by yourself, expect to pay around like 2.5k a month, because the rent by itself is already gonna be more than $1,000. This is like an actual studio, an actual apartment, 1 bedroom. It's not like the college dorm version. So this is in downtown Portland in Oregon. So other states it's gonna be different. And the charge that I list today is gonna be for local people basically just moving like an hour away from home, or moving closer to school, or moving closer to work, stuff like that. It's not like a moving out of state thing. So first, the first month move. The first thing in the list I put is moving. So basically moving your stuff. This really depends. If you're moving just by yourself, you're moving all the stuff you have by yourself, and it also depends on what car you have. So this expense can go from like less than $100 to 300 or 400, depends. If you plan to rent a U-Haul truck, yes, it can fit more. It's gonna make your commute just like one time, maybe, if you can shove everything into the truck and just move one time. That is gonna be a lot of work. You probably gonna have to ask your friend or your family for help. Something that I learned is that if you have people around you that you can ask for help, ask for help. But if you are just moving away from home, it's not really a rush, and you don't even live that far, it is also a good idea to just keep moving your stuff little by little. But if it's like a 3 hours drive, or like 2 hours drive, or more than that, then you might consider U-Haul. It might be worth it. Better than you have like, imagine having a compact car and you have to move like 3 hours away, and you just keep filling your car and like go multiple times. That's just gonna be taking a lot of time and gas money. So I put in $300 for this because it can fluctuate, depends on how you decide to move. What I did last time that I moved is my family helped me, and the time before I did rent a U-Haul truck, which ended up costing me like 200 something for just renting the truck itself. Put back the gas in the truck, and then a little bit more that I take my family out to like a dinner because they helped me move my stuff, basically. Yeah, so think about that. But if you don't really need to rush or anything, I mean, and you have a big car you can borrow, like, do that too. That would work as well, and I would say it's more affordable. The rent, this is a studio to a 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Portland. The rent goes from $800 to $1,300, and this is like the affordable version. So it's like one of the cheapest one in downtown Portland that you can look for. I put $1,200 because it can go from $900 to $1,300, like the cheapest option available. I would say $1,200 is like standard. Some places is like $1,000, but then they have like $100 additional for like utilities, so it's about $1,200 anyway. And some places like 1.11, like 1,100, but then they charge you an additional $100 again for the utility, so that still become like 1,200. So I would say 1,200 is pretty average. And then I put another 1,200 for additional month rent. Sometime when you move some apartment, they require you to pay first and last month rent. So having 2 months of rent at least before you decide to move to a place is safer, I would say, and more realistic, because you don't know like their requirement until you try to apply, or when you really read the description. I also put another 1,200 for deposit. If you're listening to this video, you probably are like moving for the first time. You probably don't have like an amazing credit, or you don't have like a rental record, so the deposit is usually gonna be 1 month rent. And yeah. So yes, I mean it might sound like a lot, but it's pretty realistic. Though it also depends on where you are, but I put this in just to be safe. So basically 1,200 for the first month rent, 1,200 for last month rent, and another 1,200 for a deposit. And like I mentioned, some places they charge you one like a flat amount for utility like water, sewer, and garbage. They usually include it. It's either included in the rent price or they add like a flat rate on top of the rent price. It can range out. It can range from $50 to $100 based on my research. And on top of that, you have utility like electricity for the PGE and stuff. I put 100 for electricity. It can be also electricity and gas, so that's another thing that you have to look for. It's gonna be depends. Some building they have like just electricity, they don't have any gas, especially the old buildings. So just keep that in mind that you might need a little bit more than $100 for the electricity that you have to pay for. PGE, you usually have to connect to the website before you even move in and make the start date be the move-in date. I'm not certain about gas because some people do pay for the gas first, then they bill the gas like invoice back to you. And then that's basically the base kind of base apartment rent. And then this is also if you have a car, because I do have a car. I put $150 for car insurance because you're just moving out. You are probably gonna be pretty young, maybe like in your 20s, like beginning of your 20s to like mid. 150 is for people who just, I would say, start driving, don't have any driving record, your parents didn't put you into their insurance yet, so it's gonna be about $150. It could be less or more depending on your driving record and also like what you paid for before. And then I put $200 for gas. This is just to be safe. So yeah, it can fluctuate. I mean, if you live pretty close to every place that you have to go already, you probably not going to have to pay much for gas. But if that, you might have to pay for parking. So I only put gas down because I feel like not everyone's gonna have a car when they move into downtown. But if you have a car but then you live pretty close to everywhere that you need to be, then you really don't have to drive much. So I would say 200 is decent, but it can be less or more. You can use the number like take hour at end, whatever you think is more realistic for you. After that, I put $50 for maintenance, which is for the car. I own my car, so we don't have any car payment. I would say $50 putting aside every month for car expense is not that much, but enough. Cause usually your car monthly maintenance is probably like just random things if it happens, and it also depends on how reliable your car is. My car is pretty reliable and it's like cheap car, so the parts when it need fixing it's not too bad. So $50 will cover me like monthly and could also like help me as a whole year maintenance too. I hope the same for you. Anyway, so when you rent like cheap apartment like that, like 1,300 and less, they usually don't have any laundry in unit. based on my research. So when that happened, I always try to make sure that the building that I'm going in have like an an in-building laundry, and you're probably gonna have to pay. So it's gonna be like $2 for a wash, another $2 for a dry. I usually do like 2 load every week, but yeah, I put $30 for that because it's gonna be about $30. If you put 2 load every week, it's gonna be like 32. But if you don't, then you can stay under $30 and keep the change to do whatever you want or buy you a drink. And then I put $300 for the grocery. This is for first month. I think you need like quite a bit of money because you're gonna have to buy everything like the seasoning stuff, things that you don't have to buy often. $300. It's not that much if you have to buy everything to a new kitchen, so just keep in mind. And then I put in $150 for eat out, especially when you just move in. Like you don't have many things to cook stuff, and you also are tired most of the time because you have to like clean your place, put away things, organize things. So I would say $150 is pretty realistic. After that, I put $50 in for coffee and boba. That's just for me. But I mean, if you walk along, you're probably gonna want to drink. And in downtown Portland, there's quite a bit of boba shop, coffee shop, and Starbucks. So yeah, try to resist that. I'll put $50 in still though, cause we're budgeting here, so we have to be realistic. Thinking that you're gonna spend more and actually spend less is way better than thinking that you're gonna spend less and actually spend more. And then I put $100 in for essentials, which is like cleaning, toilet paper, napkins, and you can use whatever's left to buy like random things you need to use in your apartment. I would recommend first place to go buy this kind of stuff would be Dollar Tree, because you don't know yet what you really need, and also you don't need like an amazing broom or an amazing like mop. You just need something to clean and stay organized. I would say go to a Dollar Tree, get all the cleaning supplies, get all like the essentials like the food rag, hand rag, everything you need basically. It shouldn't be more than $50, but another 50 is in case you wanna maybe invest in like a one-time broom or one-time mop or something like that. And then I put 200 in for personal items, which are like the hygienes and stuff like toothpaste, shampoo, conditioner, soap, skincare. You probably already have your own skincare that you're gonna be transferring to a new place, but whatever you're sharing with your current place or your family right now, you're probably gonna have to leave it there or maybe take only partial. So I put $200 there. Should cover most of the stuff. And if 200 was not enough, you can also move things around a little bit for whatever you have left from the essentials as well. And then now it's like personal expense that you should consider as well is your phone. My phone plan is $30. I don't know, you could spend more, but I just opened mine like a year or two ago, and I could also still be in the promotion era. That's why it's $30. I'm using Mint Mobile, so it's pretty cheap. You can do less or more. Really, it depends on what you prefer. And I put $50 for Wi-Fi. I think that's pretty standard. I know a lot of people who pay $50, and I also am paying $50. You're probably gonna be able to get like $5 discount if you connect it to your banking and not use a credit card. So yeah. And then because this is the first month you are moving out for your first time, I put in $500 for extra just to have like some cash on hand. and then $1,000 cash for emergency. You don't have to hold it. It doesn't have to be like hard cash. It can also be 1K that you put in like a high yield saving. So if you don't use it, you have extra money on the side that you can transfer out anytime when you need, and it also gain interest for you. So, and with all of that, the first month of moving out is gonna be approximately $6,910. Just a tip, if you are moving out, this is like a really close number of what you might have to really spend like every time. I mean, except the 500 extra and then 1,000 cash on hand for emergency, and you can also subtract out the last month rent if they didn't require it, and you can also subtract out some of the rent and the deposit if your apartment is cheaper. So I would say to move out, you really need to look at the price range of what you are okay to spend. Then you can work from there. I will list this down in the description too, so that you can kind of see it, the list, and you can copy and paste it to like a Word or something, and then just adjust it per your needs, just for you to like see an idea of like a list of the expense that you have to consider basically. So $6,910 is the first move out. I mean, to be safe, you can save up to 8K or 10K just to be safe in case of any emergency. Or I mean, you're gonna move out by yourself, you're probably gonna want to be 100% independent, so having extra is better than not having enough. And that's just the first month. For after that, based on the same information, it's gonna be like less, so it's not gonna be like that every month. So for the monthly after the first month, it's gonna be approximately $2,410. I put in 1,200 for the rent, 100 for utility, 100 for electricity, 150 for car insurance, 200 for gas, 50 for car maintenance again, 30 for laundry, 200 for food and grocery. So basically I reduced that because last month I put like $100 extra there, because you probably need to buy more stuff than just living, because you just move in. I put $150 for eat out, and then $50 for boba and coffee again. You can move those around. I mean, at last you might not even need $400 a month for food. It also depends on where you work, because I was working at restaurants, so I did eat at work. I take food home from work, so it saved me money on food like a lot. And then again, I put $100 for essentials and personal. I combined the essential stuff and personal stuff, which is like skincare and everything, into the same category and make it $100 a month. I feel like that's pretty realistic if you don't use like overly expensive items. Like, I mean, I know skincare can go up pretty expensive, so it really depends on like what brand you use and if you wear makeup or not. And then I put again $30 for phone and $50 for Wi-Fi. So that will be a total of $2,410 for a monthly expense. This can go up and down depending on your rent and also your essentials. Okay, not bad. So that's like, those are when you move out alone by yourself. Now, this is if you move out with a roommate. It's gonna be $1,715. Why? Because you cut the rent into half, you cut the utility flat rate into half, the electricity is probably gonna be less than you paying alone, and you divide whatever that is by half. The car insurance still stay the same. The gas also depends. If you guys share a car, you're probably gonna be able to share gas as well. So 200 or less. If you guys work at the same place or go to the same school and you share a car, also save. Car maintenance, whoever the car owner is, still have to pay the $50 a month. Take out $50 a month for car maintenance. $30 for laundry still stay the same. I put the same for food, but that also depends. If you guys like share food, you're probably gonna share groceries too. It might be less expensive or more depending on how you communicate and what kind of food you guys share. So I put 200 for food grocery, 150 eat out, 50 for boba, and then again $100 for essential and personal, $30 for phone, and you guys can share the Wi-Fi, so it's probably gonna be half. So from 50, it's now $25 per person. From being by yourself, the monthly cost is $2,410. If you have a roommate, it's gonna be $1,715. And keep in mind, I have ADHD, so I like to be a little bit over what you actually have to spend, because we are doing an approximate here. It doesn't have to be exact number, but for me personally, sound a little bit more expensive is better than sound a little bit more cheap, and a little bit more less than what you're actually paying, because that might throw you off. So yeah, if you have a roommate, and keep that in mind, if you have a roommate, your first month cost is not going to be as high, because you're going to be dividing the rent, the last month rent, if there's any, and then the deposit. So those are all going to be divided by half. That's going to bring it down quite a bit, like 600 times 3. That's like 1.8k less than what you're going to be paying if you have a roommate. So yeah, really consider that. Really consider if you need a roommate or you really want to be by yourself. Roommate is definitely a little bit cheaper, about 20-30% cheaper than what you're going to be paying by yourself. And this is not including the apartment insurance. They usually range about, I would say, 10, 15, 30. Really depends on how much you want to be covered, like how much they're gonna be cover, like just the building, your personal belongings, stuff like that. So I would say you can stay like under $10 too, if you just do like bare minimum just to get the requirement for the apartment, because some apartment do require you to purchase an insurance and then transfer them into your insurance first before you can move in. And not including pet fee, because if you have pet fee, those can range like 50 to 100 when move in, and then additional monthly. I'm not sure, I don't have any pets. Just make sure you read the description really well before you move into a place, and then like ask a lot of questions and calls them. Just make sure you list everything out. Yeah. Well, that was a lot of talking. And also be aware that you're probably gonna have to buy more things. So I would say 10k would be pretty safe, but it's not like safe. Like I don't need to make enough money monthly. It's more like in case you need to buy stuff. But if I would recommend you, before you move out, save at least 8 to 10k. Stay wherever you are at first, save as much money, and when you move out, you can consider move out with a roommate first on your first year, just to adapt you from like maybe not paying anything at all or pay really little to like jump to like 2k, because that's a lot of money. If you have a roommate first, everything's gonna be at least a little bit cheaper, like 20%, 30% cheaper than what you're gonna be paid by yourself. So just to adapt to that expense, I would say moving away a roommate on your first year, it's good. But if you want to move out by yourself right away on your first year, Then if it didn't work for you, decide if you want a roommate later, and add them in. It's not bad. I mean, if you can find a roommate, because like I know a lot of people have issue getting approved to apartment. So if you already have an apartment and you know someone who wants to move out to, then just ask them to be a roommate. So you have a roommate and you got that perk of living alone, then you have a roommate. So that's it. I just like I'm gonna move back to downtown Portland, so I came across all of these like this list and everything, and I was just like, maybe this information might be helpful for some people. So yeah, I mean, it's quite expensive. 10K is a lot of money, but if you really want it, I know you can do it. Just be a little like be patient before you move out, cause you don't want to move out and then have issue with money, cause that lease is gonna hold you back, and move out and getting into that because you didn't prepare well is unfortunate. But I mean, if you have to, you have to. I don't recommend it. Anyway, yeah. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Or if you feel like my list is off, way off, so weird, too much money, like you are living cheaper, way cheaper than that, you can also comment below your situation, how you were able to live in downtown Berlin for so cheap. And I mean, you can also advise people who are looking at this video and planning to move out. So thank you guys so much for coming in and listen to me yapping. Anyway, let me know if you have any question. I would love to answer all the question. I mean, the apartment in downtown Portland right now, I see a lot of studios, and this is May, so like there's a lot of room available right now. People are starting to move, and people are planning to move during summer. So I would say moving during the time close around summertime is good, because there will be more room, more option for you to choose from. And when you move into a new apartment first time by yourself, don't buy everything at once. Don't buy too bulky of stuff. Don't buy anything too heavy, too big, because I learned that the hard way. Basically, your first apartment or studio is not going to be your favorite. So going in first, just learning that you like it or not, and see what could you have to make your life better and more accessible and more comfortable. It's gonna take a while for you to realize that the apartment that you choose or the studio that you choose is not your fave, or it doesn't have something that you want to be easily accessed to. So just slowly adding stuff and trying not to add too much stuff. That would be my recommendation. And yeah, I would say live below your means for at least a little bit. If you want a bigger place, try to make sure that your job is stable first. I mean, if you just got your first job and you want to move out, I would say stay home first, work that job for a while and see if it's stable, see if you are getting the same shift over and over, see if your schedule is stable and you are getting about the exact income every month. It's a good idea too before you even try to plan moving out, so that you know like your income and saving extra on top of that, so then it helps you when you're having a hard time. Yeah. Anyway, let me know if you guys have any question. I mean, I'm pretty serious when it comes to budgeting and like your finance. I'm frugal and cheap. And I would say I'm trying to live below my means, but I mean my mean is not that high. I'm 24. My job is still an entry level. So yeah, work with what you have, and I wish you a good luck, and whatever you decide to do, I hope you plan well and then you manage yourself and your money well so that you don't end up going in debt for just not well planned. Yeah. Bye.